Welcome to Nerd Positive. This is a Facebook and YouTube live podcast show that celebrates everything we feel is awesome in the hopes of spreading our fandom to you. After the live show, you can catch us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and anywhere else you find your audio fix. Each week, we dive into the hearts of fandoms, celebrating the things we love. From sci-fi to fantasy, movies to TV shows, and comics to video games, we explore the universes that have captured our imaginations and made us lifelong fans in our search, in the quest for the best. Expect passionate discussions, in-depth analyses, side quests, Nerdageddon tournament of awesome!
Yes,
and maybe even a few things hiding under the bed. So whether you're a diehard yippee-ki-yay motherfucker or just dipping your toes in the fandom waters, Nerd Positive is the place to be. I'm the host, Bradley Butin, the self-proclaimed Emperor of Awesome. And with me every week is the co-host with the mostest, the unverified twin of Dwayne The Rock Johnson in the eyebrows. The unverified twin of Dave Batista in the head wrinkles. The unverified twin of Carl Weathers in the mustache.
the flavor savor.
The unverified twin of Tony Todd in the right earlobe. And the unverified twin of Shamar Moore in the nipples. Brian, what is going on with you?
Man, I am so excited for tonight's Nerdageddon tournament of awesome. But again, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Brian S. Dennis, Greatness. And this week, the S stands for Boba Fett. We'll get more into that during our tournament of awesomeness. Sir, how have you been?
Dude, I've been pretty freaking good, man. I've been
All
good. I
right.
went to, I watched Captain America.
Yes, sir. I've been
Oh.
trying to avoid any spoilers, but we'll definitely talk about it if you want.
We'll talk
It's
about it.
all good.
We'll talk about it some because it was not my movie of the week.
Mm.
So I have thoughts, man. I didn't like it as much as I thought I was going to.
Okay. Now there's
So-
some casting changes, and I've seen a couple things online. This some folks, again, without getting into details, we can definitely talk about that tonight. It's very interesting of even people saying the movie was review bombed versus when you look at actual reviews. Again, some of it come on. Everything's going to have mixed reviews a little bit, but
Yeah.
I've heard as the weekends progresses, actually want to having more positive reviews than maybe what it looked like over the beginning of the weekend. But I'd love to hear your thoughts on it, my friend.
Yeah. So I just did a podcast earlier with Meanwhile back on the podcast, and we were talking about it. And to me, the problem with Captain America was the direction, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But let's talk a little bit of the week this week on lunch break reviews. While I'm talking about that, Hard Eyes, dude, that movie had no
Hard
design.
Eyes.
Man, it was so freaking good. It's a rom-com slasher.
Okay,
and yes,
really? Okay.
Devon Sawa's in it, and Jordana Brewster, some more no-namers.
Really? Okay,
Dude,
yeah.
I here's a movie I had no desire to watch. I was made to go, not made, but I was talked into going with.
You were strongly encouraged
by the wife and the kids, and I loved every freaking second of it, man.
Okay.
It had me hooked in the first minute and a half. It had that campy. It had dude, it was just great movie. Absolute Superman #4 came out. I did that episode. I did Anthony Mackie. Anthony Mackie is a great Cap, but Brave New World is a bad movie. That came out as well. Okay. And coming this week, I'm going to do Batman, Absolute Batman #5, because the first 5 issues of Absolute Batman are out, which is the first arc of the new Absolute Batman. Have you read any of it yet?
Dude, it's on my to-do list every single week, and I still haven't gotten to it. I got some time coming, hopefully some free time the next week, so we'll try and get into them. All right.
Nice. Yep. And I just started reading One World Under Doom. Doom is the leader of Earth.
You know what? As he kind of should be.
Agree.
Kind of be.
Yeah, yeah. All right, man. Let's talk about some favorites of the week and maybe some not so favorites of the week. But you want to go first?
Yeah, I'll go first. Got a few again. We'll deep dive more into Paradise, but your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man continues to be really, really good.
My homework.
Yep, I caught up on the new drops of Invincible. So good, so good, so good. Have you caught up on all of Invincible yet?
Is it just the 3 episodes?
The 3 that they dropped,
Yeah.
yes.
Yep.
Okay. I am hoping for an Alan the Alien spinoff. I think that would be fantastic. Seth Rogen is great as that voice. And I gotta tell you, here's what Invincible has convinced me so far. I cannot stand his little brother. Oh my goodness. That little yeah, I keep wanting someone to slap him around a little bit. So and again, the story arc of that continues to go is taking some differences from the comic, which is fine, but still overall really, really good. And of course, we will deep dive into Paradise. So, my friend, what's up for you, sir?
The only thing I can really add to that is Traders. If you haven't watched Traders,
I've been catch up on Traders.
Traders is fantastic.
It's good. It's good. I think you like it a little more than me, but it is good. It is good.
Yep.
So,
But there's also a new show called Extraction or Extracted, I think is what it's called.
okay.
It's a sort of like Survivor, but only there's 2 games being played. You have the first of all, you got somebody who's not really a survivalist out in the woods trying to survive, but then you have a headquarters where their family is the ones that can pull them out, and they're watching everything.
I've heard of that one. Okay.
Yeah, it's pretty fantastic. Obviously Paradise, we'll talk about that. Cobra Kai.
Okay.
Dude, have you finished it?
I have not finished it because not you mentioned that I've gotten really into another show that Peyton List is in called School Spirit.
Such a good show.
That actually has kind of overwrought my Cobra Kai because that show is really just really deep, the various levels of it. I love Peyton List for many reasons.
Yes.
And
2 popping in my head right now.
Yeah, I get where you're going with that. And so, but that's been excellent as well. And also Ghost has returned and it's gotten really good. We had new drops of episode of Matlock as well as Elspeth. I have not had a chance to watch those. I need to catch up on some more rookies. So this time of year is always when we take, seems like at the end of December, it seems like forever of them with the way they do a lot of programming now. Then everything kind of drops mid-January, and then they take about 2 weeks off for the Super Bowl. Now things are coming out fast and furious. So really, really excited. But of course, I think our favorite show we both are watching. By the way, I've been telling everybody I got in my class on Tuesday night. I just happened to make a quick little comment about Paradise and the amount of students who go, "Are you watching Paradise?" Yes, I am watching Paradise. And because the month of February is Black History Month, I do a post just about an actor, a movie, something that I think is really kind of cool. My Sterling K. Brown one that I did, I believe last Tuesday, got a lot of likes. And again, me giving a lot of Paradise love and people just commenting what a great show it is. So we're up to episode, I believe, 4. So let's talk a little bit of Paradise, which again, my only knock on it so far is they should have really stylized it after episode 1. Paradise, they had a question mark at the end. So let's get into it, bro. After
all right,
episode
man.
5, I just double check. We're up to episode 5.
Dude, this show continues to surprise me. There's been few shows that I've gotten into that have like seriously almost every episode. Your jaw is on the ground that you're just like, damn. And when they killed Billy, I was like, holy shit.
By the way, let's put up our spoiler alert just for folks.
That is a great idea.
So you're right. As you're doing that, so there will be spoilers. The way the show started, and again, we've told the story on the podcast before. You were watching before I was, and then you say, "Hey, check it out." And we usually follow each other's recommendations, but then we hit like stop whatever you're doing and watch it. And I still didn't watch till the next morning. I was busy, but I can tell you at like 5 a.m. when I started watching it with that arc that we now know is that the world as we know it ends, or does it?
Yeah.
It's been fantastic, and every week, beyond them giving us a new version of an '80s hairband song that turns into a ballad that gives you so much ocular perspiration,
Yep.
is the backstory that they give that
Oh
shows
man.
there's so much that happened with each character to get to who they are, and especially especially when we talk about Sinatra, when we talk about the president, and there's just again, I got to give so much credit to just the job that the actors doing. We talked before about Sterling K. Brown should hopefully get something, but also you got to give it out to James Marsden in his role as the president.
Yeah.
And every week you learn a little bit more about them. But let's talk more specifically about this week, which start off with that opening shot that showed the Washington Monument. And it took a moment for my eyes to really realize what I was seeing, because all you saw was this thing that looked like a dinghy in the ocean, and you realize that's the Washington Memorial. Like, oh my. So go ahead, sir.
No, man. I mean, it's just this is the best show on TV right now.
It really
I mean,
is.
easily. This is Dan Fogelman and Sterling K's Browns. This is their best work.
This is.
I mean, and they were on This Is Us. I mean, it's just
Yes.
such a different kind of show. And even with This Is Us, they were able to play that multiple like timeline thing
Right.
very, very well. So I mean, and Dan Fogelman, if you can do that, you can tell a million different stories, and we're all gonna buy it. We're here for it.
Yeah.
And Sterling K. Brown, like we said, every week since the show started, this is his best thing that I've ever seen him do. And this dude is good and everything.
He is.
And we've never said a bad word about this guy. Like,
no.
dude, this guy doesn't screw up. I mean, like,
yeah,
he's great.
And on top of it, what Fogelman has done, and he used to said he did a lot with This Is Us, because the show takes place with various timelines, meaning there's flashbacks, there's the current, there's deeper dives in the flashback. We go further back.
Yeah,
you really get to understand that people change. Pardon me, over time, and what they did with this again, it almost reminded me of the best aspects of shows like Lost or Scandal, when no one's who that you think they are, but the little twists don't confuse you. They make you want more. And the more we learned about the president, the more we learned the president's dad, the more we learned about Sinatra, and that last scene with with Brown, Senator Brown's oldest child, Presley, and her going in the house. By the way, just real quick, do you find Jane more alluring now that we know she's a stone cold killer than before? Because I'm like, really? Ever see Jane's in? I'm like, I dig this.
I mean, yeah.
I mean,
okay,
I mean, don't get me wrong, the sundress at the fair was nice, but the fact she'll kill a person with little to no remorse, I'm thinking, yeah, all right, yeah,
he's in that line, like the baddest motherfucker, you know. It's like, okay,
yeah.
You were big, but
I'm bigger. You told us in the biggest she got, and she did. By the way, the other thing that's so intriguing, we didn't really talk about the Agent Billy Pace episode, which one before this, was just the little things they do, such as that bar that they go to over and over again, knowing that the bartender's wife, and then what we find is at least potentially happening in the world that was. And even the primary antagonist, the one who's supposed to be the big bad, the villain in Sinatra, you almost can understand some of her decisions. Which is, I think, one of the best things you can do with a villain, that they're not evil just for evil's sake.
Yep, exactly.
Yes.
And that's how you make the best film. That's how you make the long lasting ones. You know.
Right.
Yeah. Absolutely. Anything else about Paradise besides tune in? New episodes tonight, right?
No, Tuesday.
So yeah.
Cool. Other than it makes me so want to I want to know what's on that. I just want to know how she got what she got. You know what I'm saying? I wonder how Presley has what Presley has, and give Gerald McCraney also his flowers of playing a person who's experiencing dementia and doing that in a very real and sensitive way, but also layering the story. So just fantastically well done.
Awesome, man. Dude, there's a Silverhawks comic book.
I saw you send a photo of that, and I didn't get a chance to text you back. How awesome is it?
It's fantastic, man. I'll probably do a quick bite on it later on.
Is it a new series? Is from back in the 80s, like giving the time of this? When
it's the original. It's the original characters.
Okay.
Yeah. I need to rewatch a couple episodes because I just don't remember a lot of it. But yeah, man, it's awesome. We can discuss that later. But
of 80 shows that didn't get their due, probably because it was up against Thundercats. It really like everybody knows Thundercats, G.I. Joe, Transformers, but then there's that next level down like Mask, Sea Sharks, but definitely
biker mice from Mars.
Oh yeah,
Battletoads. No, that was a game.
Yes,
Battletoads.
But one of the best ones, absolutely though, was Silverhawks. So if you're younger or just aren't familiar with Silverhawks, you can Google, or I should say, you can YouTube fairly full, if not full, episodes of it, and it's also on Prime. So
yeah. All
right.
Oh, hey there,
we have a cameo coming.
Hey?
Yes.
Want to say hi?
Yeah. Hi.
Hi there, Princess Leia. How are you?
Good.
I heard you went and saw a movie, Hard Eyes.
Yeah, that one too.
Which is like better, Hard Eyes or Captain America: Brave New World?
Hard Eyes.
Okay, why?
Because it was a romance movie and it was better.
Okay, all right, that's fair. It was Valentine's weekend. All right. And by the way, it's a couple days late, but happy Valentine's Day.
Happy late Valentine's Day.
Boom. All right.
My dog was my Valentine's.
That's fair. Because by the way, I know a lot of guys that would be called dogs. So I think you're safer with the puppy that you got. So.
Yeah, but my friend Fiona was my Galentine.
Galentines are great. All right.
Yeah, and then I had a fight with Siri.
Like a person named Siri or the AI named Siri?
The AI.
Yeah.
Fair. That's fair. Well, they all are listening. They all are going to rule the world at some point. So yeah.
Because she was invading my personal space and she was eavesdropping, and then she started dry texting me, and then she sang a poem when I told her to sing instead, and she just started saying a poem. Like, I don't know what's up with her, but she just does not listen to me. So I don't like her.
So
we have drama.
So say these words to your father. The rise of the machines.
The rise of the machines.
Skynet is real.
What?
All right, kiddo. Tell Brian bye-bye.
No.
Yeah, we have a podcast to do. Tell Brian bye-bye.
Okay. Hi, bye-bye.
Hi, bye-bye, princess.
No.
All right, kiddo.
I'll be fine.
Come on.
Huh? Those headphones are weird. Bye-bye, guys.
Bye-bye. Okay. Ooh. Yeah. We'll just take that as a little segue into. I got a couple of thoughts on Captain America. I will try
By
not
the
to.
way, you might have need to give her own set of headphones because she's starting to not give those up, bro.
I know, right? I know. She just send her the link.
Yeah.
So I'll try to I'll try to say a couple things without spoiling it too hard for you.
It's okay. We're good. I'm gonna see it regardless. So let's do it.
Right. So my problem wasn't with my problems with the movie weren't with the acting. It was with the direction. It felt like it was an finished movie. Like it felt like it was felt like there was two movies that they made into one, and they kind of were like, okay, put it together. You know, Giancarlo Esposito was amazing. Anthony Mackie, of course, dude, like he is a great Captain America.
Absolutely.
They show a picture of Harrison Ford with a mustache, and that is something that you can never see again.
Well, at least a full mustache.
Yeah, he used to be. He used to be William Hurt. He used to be.
Yeah.
They had mustache,
yes, they had to play it up. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's something that you never want to see again. This is bad.
Mm-hmm.
This is bad.
Okay.
And I don't want to tell you how we get into how we find adamantium or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
I did feel so there's times that the music didn't meet the movie, right? Like it didn't match the movie, right? And so every time that happens, it takes you out of it, and then it's just hard to get back invested.
Okay.
But the aerial combat is what makes the movie, which should, as long as you do Captain America right and you can get that right, you have something going for you.
Sam Wilson is Captain America. You got to have some aerial battles.
Yeah.
And I saw a few things online. Sam Wilson should be Captain America. There's no doubt about it. It makes perfect sense that he will be Captain America. Don't worry, Winter Soldier's not gone. We got Thunderbolts coming out in a few months. By the way, and I know you're trying to avoid spoilers, which I appreciate it. Is it clear from the movie that this leads into Thunderbolts?
Yes. Okay. Yes. There's knowing that Thunderbolts happens is coming in a few months. Yes, there is a setup. This is more of a sequel to the Incredible Hulk 2008 and Eternals.
Really? Okay.
Yes.
One of those is much better than the other, but okay.
Yes.
All right. Are there? And this is fine if there. You can spoil this. Are there any? Are the Eternals? Are there any Eternals in it?
No, and that was part of the problem. So I'll go in a little bit of spoiler territory for you. So, Celestial Island is what they call the Celestial that was coming in the Indian Ocean.
Gilgamesh.
Right.
Yes.
That is adamantium. That is the introduction of adamantium.
Okay.
And that's a great freaking idea. That's great. However, because of that, you would think that you would at least the Eternals would be aware, right? Like the ones that are left, and there's nothing there. Also, another thing that you don't see in the movie is S.H.I.E.L.D.
No S.H.I.E.L.D. at all.
There's no S.H.I.E.L.D. at all, and so like you're missing something here.
What about a sword reference? Anything? No S.H.I.E.L.D., no sword. Really?
No S.H.I.E.L.D., no sword, no nothing. Yeah, man. So that's all you're gonna get.
That's fine. Again, it's not gonna change my desire to go see it but the fact of it is, there's some. I mean, just hearing that, I like how the introduction of adamantium, which again leads whether it's the same content. Well, it will be a different universe, but it obviously leads to Wolverine, Sabretooth, Lady Deathstrike. There's variety of characters that you can bring into that just by the fact that adamantium's real in this universe now. All right.
Yeah, and I will say the podcast I did earlier with Frank from Meanwhile, he brought something to my attention that I didn't really think about, and it was another part of something I was hitting it for.
Okay.
But after hearing it, I shouldn't have been.
Okay.
And so I'm going to let you know this because it actually changes. It would have raised my score of it because I scored it right pretty much in the middle.
Okay.
But Sam Wilson is a counselor, and it's his job to talk to people and talk people through things.
Yes.
So talk people through their bad day. Help them that way. And looking at that with a different lens than fight, whatever. It changes something. So, and that's part of to me, that's the director's fault because I didn't pick up on that.
And it was
And
very subtly mentioned in Captain America's the sequel. So it had been Captain America, not Civil War, Captain Winter Soldier.
yeah,
He mentions that, and then there was a couple things that, again, maybe in a little bit in the Falcon and Winter Soldier show, that again he does lead groups with injured vets. But you're right, it had not been a featured part of his character, and that would have been a great callback if they didn't explicitly state it, that they should have, just to remind the audience. Absolutely.
yeah. And then a lot of the characters like Carl Lumbly, they had to explain their character like multiple times, and we're like,
Okay.
oh, dude, I know who Isaiah Bradley is. Like, you don't need to tell me. I want to see some
that
acting.
they did need to remind you about multiple times. They didn't. The things that would have been nice to bring back up, they did not. Okay.
And especially just with like just by saying it, like if he was explaining what happened to him and there were some flashback scenes to an Isaiah Bradley kicking a ton of ass in the Korean War,
Sure.
dude, that would have been an amazing scene. But you don't get it. Maybe later. All right. I feel like we're getting less nerd positive, and then so we're gonna move on to.
Well, I got one other thing to bring front. You asked us some of my favorites, and I want to bring one more thing. We're big WWE fans, and we'll talk more as we get closer to WrestleMania season. So last night I happened to watch the NXT Vengeance Day pay-per-view, and I won't give a recap other than that pay-per-view, or PLE, Premium Live Event as they call them now, really sets the stage of who you will probably see on Raw and SmackDown in the next probably anywhere from 1 to 3 years. And the amount of talent, especially on the women's roster, is extremely impressive. And then Oba Femi, who's the current NXT champion, when he's on the main roster and when he's in a major match at WrestleMania, it's going to be very, very interesting, of someone that probably will take over the dominant factor from Roman Reigns. I mean, this is a guy that had a triple threat match against A-Town Down Under, and it's worth a watch on on Peacock, and just that match and that was one of the best triple threats I've seen in a really, really long time. And then do you know Javon Evans at all? Who's an NXT wrestler? He is, they call him bouncy, just with his hang time. He did a strap match, not a strap match, but a match with All Ego, Ethan Page. And again, for a guy that's a natural baby face, he's tall, but he's really slender. Someone that you see take a lot of punishment. It was curious, could he bring a lot of fire? He did. And again, there's a lot of talent down there that will be, and that's probably why they did several releases over the last week, to probably bring some space for those folks. The Raw to WrestleMania, again, I think we'll see definitely a few of those folks up on the main roster. But I want to bring that up because that makes me excited for continued great wrestling television. Yeah,
AOP is gone now, right?
AOP is gone. So the big names that were gone, that we will probably somewhat miss, none of these folks being featured probably at all. AOP along with Paul Ellering, Cedric Alexander. I'm happy for Cedric Alexander. That probably means he'll probably go to AEW and join up with the Hurt Syndicate. They'll probably use a lot of his best work. Blair Davenport, who basically had 1 or 2 matches on the main roster, and then see her again. Giovanni, who was the 3rd member of Imperium. They repacked him. He had like 1, maybe 2 matches on SmackDown. We never saw him again.
They built him up too.
They built him up, but then nothing. He lost the first match after the repackaging, and I'm not sure if we ever got another match under the injury or whatever. And then what will be interesting is Sonya Deville was released, and she's the leader of the worst named group ever. And gosh, I can't think of what their name is now. Whatever, but it was where you had Zoe Starks and Shayna Baszler, Pure Fusion Collective, the Pure Fusion Collective,
PFC. That's PFC,
right. With her being gone, I hope that means that we will not see Deville nor Baszler, especially Baszler, who's got all the talent in the world. Maybe they will consider them as a tag team. Neither one of them are great on promos, so that's probably why I had a manager. But hopefully those two will stick around, especially Baszler, because she's someone that they need in that women's division. She's underutilized. Putting her as a tag wrestler is still not using her talents, but hopefully we'll see that going forth. So, all right,
but definitely mid card, man. Like let them do the chase for the mid card.
Yeah,
now that there is one.
Absolutely, especially now that you have secondary titles for the women's division and the Continental title, United States Championship. If you don't keep them as a tag team, which I think is probably what they will do, you could definitely split them, put one on Raw, one on SmackDown, and have them chase those mid card titles. And last thing is, mark my words, Chelsea Green within a year is the women's champion.
Yeah, dude. Chelsea Green is great.
Yes.
I mean, she's one of those. So I missed SmackDown because it was Valentine's Day, and so wife and I went out for dinner. Can you fill me in on SmackDown?
The big things on SmackDown is I believe what they're building to at WrestleMania is quite possible is probably Jacob Fatu versus Roman Reigns, but they're gonna have to turn Jacob Fatu babyface very soon. He is getting all the cheers in the world. Or maybe Fatu versus Solo Sikoa. Solo Sikoa made a comeback. They've completely dropped references to the bloodline. Now they're called the family. But the biggest thing that happened in the ring was that Charlotte Flair has declared that she would challenge Tiffany Stratton as
Blonde
in
Ambition.
that. Yes, and we will now get at Elimination Chamber Nia Jax and Candice LeRae versus Tiffy Time and Trish Stratus.
I'm for this.
Yeah,
I'm pretty for this. Yeah.
Yes, talk about blonde ambition, right?
Yeah.
There. So you've got so those two. There's a clear line between Trish back in the day and Tiffany now. They had some good matches, had some decent promos. Drew also got jumped by Jey Uso, so be curious what happens with that. And the other one is that for the Elimination Chamber, I'm blanking on names now. It was Braun Strowman, Damian Priest, and who was the third member of that? I forget, but Priest is also in the Elimination Chamber, if I remember correctly. Yep. So.
Good. He's taken backseat for long enough. They need to do something with him. He either needs a good tag partner or Truth.
Who is now on SmackDown as well. So and R-Truth had a quick match, but R-Truth was again outstanding. All right, one last thing.
Yeah.
So I know you love R-Truth. It is so Carmelo Hayes, another one who I think is underutilized. He should be hopefully maybe after Mania getting a push in the mid card towards the United States Championship. But Carmelo Hayes calls himself him. He goes, "I am him," right? So R-Truth came down and had so much fun with the him of thinking that Carmelo just didn't know his own name and was trying to help him like realize his name is Carmelo Hayes, and
I'm gonna YouTube this later.
And the frustration. By the way, Carmelo Hayes did a great job playing off of being frustrated. That as well. But again, R-Truth continues. He lost his match, but that's not why we love R-Truth.
Right. I mean,
it's all the
protect R-Truth with everything that you have.
And the guy's in his 50s and wrestles a really good. I mean, he's in fantastic shape.
Yeah,
he's just not the one we're gonna see necessarily in a singles title picture right now. But he's extremely funny, and not to the point that it distracts from the matches. And everybody wants to see more R-Truth. So yeah, definitely check out get those parts of SmackDown. You can definitely see them on YouTube. Those highlights of SmackDown, sir.
Is R-Truth a future Hall of Famer?
Absolutely.
I agree. I think
when and if when he retires, which I don't think there's any rush for him at that point at all, given his schedule, given again he doesn't seem to have any major injuries that he's dealing with right now. I still can be a while coming, but yeah, absolutely, he's a first ballot Hall of Famer, and hopefully he gets inducted by John Cena Given
and we can't see him.
and it's his childhood hero. So, and again, the big thing of it is the running joke is R-Truth is 4 years older than John Cena, but John Cena is his childhood hero.
Yeah.
All right, sir.
Oh man. Yeah. Okay. That was good. Elimination Chambers in 2 weeks, so we'll do a heavy prediction for that next week. Brian.
Yes, sir.
Are you ready for the Nerdageddon Tournament of Awesome?
I cannot wait.
Let's see how long I can hold that.
That was pretty good.
Thank you.
So, ladies and gentlemen, here's how Nerdageddon Tournament of Awesome works every single week. So, Bradley and I come up with 10 of our favorite picks for whatever our topic is. I'll remind you of our topic here momentarily.
Mm-hmm.
We then get those individuals seated 1 through 10, thanks to the magic of a 20-sided die. And then after we have our seating, we must eliminate 2 people, where it'll be 8 versus 8 as we whittle those down. And then I will whittle mine down to the champion of my bracket. Bradley will do the same. And then those 2 individuals will square off in the finals of our week's Nerdageddon Tournament of Awesome.
All right, now.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, just reminded the folks that this week we're talking about bodyguards. Now, here are the rules for bodyguards, and I cannot wait to hear Brad's list. We had a little discussion without getting into the specifics. Is who would we pick to be our bodyguard? Who do we feel would be the best bodyguard based on fictional characters? Now, the one caveat is I said no powers, so no Superman, Green Lantern, that type of person.
Yeah.
Now, you have asked me to define superpowers a couple different times now, and you said that potentially you've got some gray area, sir. So,
yeah,
I hope you go first. So, please, if you
have
something else to share, let's do it.
Okay. So yes. So Brian and I, we people. So there's, believe it or not, there's fictional people that do not like us. I know, right? And that they want to hurt us. So we need fictional bodyguards to protect us.
The elf, the Lord Umbridge. I mean, there's a few out there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, so I'm gonna try. I'm gonna use
Vandor.
Exactly. I'm gonna go over
lights. I can keep going.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go over my. Can I get by with these?
Okay.
First, so.
Okay.
All right. Okay. We're gonna start with my number one. I gotta see if I can, I can make this one work. And roll and then you can roll the dice for him. Optimus Prime. Not a superhero.
Also not human.
Not human.
Huh.
There was never any have to be human.
Fair.
And he can turn into a robot. He's not super powered. He's 10 feet tall.
So, this one, I'm going to go back to our previous text and see how you interpret this. So,
anything a person generally can't do, even with extra chain.
A person. Does Optimus count as a person?
Okay.
We love us Optimus.
Okay.
But would Optimus Prime count as a person?
I'm gonna
say one. He's a one. He's one of one. But I don't think Optimus counts as a person. Nice.
Okay,
try,
fair enough. Okay, next. Okay, well, their Knight Rider is going down too. Kit from Knight Rider.
Oh, okay. That would have been really interesting. Yeah.
All right. So I was going to try to get Kit next. All right.
Okay.
Oh shit! The T-800 Terminator. That's not going to fly now. Okay. Person.
Okay.
RoboCop.
So actually, RoboCop, not Murphy pre-enhancement. Actually, RoboCop. He was a person. Fine. Okay. All right. Hang on. Let me think that one for a minute. I might, because based on this, what I said was anything that a person generally can't do, even with training. However, So let's throw this out. So, because we didn't say what, because at this, because there are
We didn't define a person.
Right. Now, I would say he's a person
Human.
because, again, and I would say even as RoboCop, he's still a person. He's still got his brain.
He still gets the memory.
Yep, absolutely. Now, what comes to RoboCop is the enhancements that he has in RoboCop.
No training.
There's no training, but would they exist? Do they exist now? Could this be a real thing? RoboCop. Could that be a real thing?
I mean, I think that we're close to that. I think it probably could.
You know what? I will give you RoboCop.
Okay. All right.
I will give you RoboCop.
Okay.
And he's a cop. And he's a cop.
That's right. That's right. He is to protect.
Yes.
To serve and protect. Okay,
yes.
cool.
Yes.
All right. Where is RoboCop going to go?
All right. Now, I think you roll for you. No, I roll for yours, don't I?
You roll for me. Yep. Then I'll roll for my strikes.
Okay. There.
Or no, you're.
Yep. Yeah. Put my die up again. Then we're good to go. All right. So RoboCop. Here we go. RoboCop's your number 8.
Okay. Okay. All right. So now the Undertaker.
Again, are we talking now? Again, I will give you Undertaker the wrestler, but none of Undertaker's magical powers. So
none of the magical powers.
Mark Calloway,
we'll call it
wrestler.
We'll call it the American Badass. The Undertaker, the American Badass.
Fair. He'll be your number 7. So we'll go Undertaker. All right.
Okay. So now, because I still have way too many, so we're cutting this down as we go here. Okay.
I like the way you approach this, though. You were creative. I got you. Who's next?
So, Chewbacca.
Chew is a person. It's not out of the realm of possibilities that there's a planet that Chewie's on. And I said person, not human. I'll give you Chewbacca, and Chewie's number 9.
Okay.
I think I might lose this one. I thought I was in good shape, but seeing between RoboCop and Chewbacca, we got to see if they make your final cut, but looking good right now. All right, sir.
We have to go with John Wick.
John Wick is number 1.
Okay. We're going to hit Marvel up. And if I need a bodyguard, there is one person. If he's on your side, he can give you lots and lots of punishment. Frank Castle.
Excellent. I'm not sure you're going happy. All right. He can at least ride the limo. All right. So a couple of re-rolls here. Frank Castle is going to be number 6. Frank Castle Punisher is number 6.
Okay. We're going to go with, for the next one, Batman Beyond, Terry McGinnis.
All right.
Future Tech.
I will let him in. So he's number 5, by the way.
Okay. Okay. From here, I think I have to go. I think from here I need someone who strong, can kick a lot of ass. He's played several superheroes. There's a show that he's in. The new season comes out next week. You may have to reach for it a little bit. Jack Reacher.
Now we are doing the TV, the Prime version of Drat Reaver,
Yeah.
not the Tom Cruise version, correct?
Yeah, the good one. We'll get to Tom Cruise probably in a minute.
Okay. He also could have been as Hawk, so yes.
That's true.
Oh, I didn't tell you his spot. He's number 4. My mistake.
Okay, number 4. Okay, Jack
Yep.
Reacher.
Yeah, that's my fault. So right
All right,
now,
man.
what you have left, you got 2, 3, and 10.
Okay, well, I have to get Batman in there.
Okay. Which version?
Bruce Wayne Batman.
Portrayed by who? We talking Adam West? We talking comics? Who we talking?
Oh, you know what? We're gonna go comic Batman because you can do more with the comic
Okay.
Batman than you can with the other versions.
All right. And he comes with all the wealth from being Bruce Wayne as well. All right.
Although, you know what? Actually, take that back. I'm going to take that back. I'm going to do something unprecedented on this one. I'm going to go absolute Batman.
Nice.
I'm going to give it absolute Batman a little bit of love because I got Batman Beyond in here. Absolute Batman is 7'2", I believe, and his bat symbol is a fucking axe. It's a battle axe, and he's not afraid to cut people's hands off. Now he's in year 1 now. So he's still a little bit.
Does he have the same one rule? Because I mean, taking someone's hand isn't killing them. Does he still have the one rule?
He still has the one rule, but his Batmobile is a dump truck. Yeah,
as it should be.
As it should be. He's smart. He's a city engineer. And that's why he knows Gotham so good.
Got you.
So absolute Batman, where is he going to be?
Absolute Batman is your number 3 seed. You still have 2 and 10.
Okay, and let's see here. I have okay. You know those spies. Those spies can really, they're really good at protecting you. When you think things are possible, sometimes you need somebody, if you're in that much trouble, that can protect you from the impossible, as in a mission that's impossible. Ethan Hunt.
Excellent. He's your number 10.
Ooh, okay. All right, so here's who I have left in my list. Okay. I haven't said, and I don't know which one I'm going to do yet, but I'm just going to kind of go over these. Man, I got Green Arrow. I got Tony Stark in here yet. I got Jason Bourne. I haven't said yet. Din Djarin, the Mandalorian, Dick Grayson, Brian Mills from the Taken movies, and Nick Fury. All right, I got a super spy. I got Ethan Hunt. There's a part of me that wants to go Nick Fury here for my number 2 choice, but I think I'm gonna have Jason Bourne, man. I think I'm gonna have to go Mandalorian for my final spot. I think I'm gonna have to go Mandalorian.
Mando. All right.
I think I need a Mandalorian in here. Nick Fury. I should have did Nick Fury instead of Ethan Hunt, but it's too late. That's fine. Right. That's fine.
I can tell you, and I still got you still got to whittle your list down by 2. But looking at your field, I'm in trouble. So let's do it, sir. All right, sir. Man. So just to let you know, I'll revamp. I know you still got to roll. Here's your current seeding without the eliminations. We've got from 1 to 10, John Wick, Mando, Batman, absolute Batman. We got Jack Reacher. We got Batman Beyond and Terry McGinnis. We got Frank Castle, aka the Punisher. We've got the Undertaker, RoboCop coming in number 8, Chewbacca at number 9, and number 10 we've got Ethan Hunt, the Tom Cruise version.
Yeah.
All right, sir.
All right.
Roll.
Okay. You rolling it?
Nope. You roll the you run the axe on your own people, sir.
All right, man. A reroll. Okay. 8. RoboCop.
Yes. RoboCop.
Oh, that's a bummer. That is a big bummer.
Yes.
Oh gosh.
Okay. All right. I'm feeling a little bit better. Who comes out next?
Oh shit. And 19. Chewbacca.
The two that I actually said earlier, I needed those to be eliminated. I got my wish. I got my wish.
Those two probably would have made it pretty freaking far.
Yeah. And the way our seating works, I mean, they wouldn't have fought each other until the finals. Well, no, semifinals. But still, you had a good shot of one of them coming out of your bracket. All right. Okay, so it's time for mine. So, again, when you hear my list, while I think it's impressive, I was not feeling good. They felt they had to take on RoboCop, but Chewie also had done some damage.
Right.
So,
well, we're gonna do round 2 and round 3, and then we'll go into yours. So once we know who my winners.
Shoot, that's right.
We can do. Actually,
let's whittle yours. Let's go and whittle yours down.
Actually, you know what? This might be more fun. Let's do it this way. Let's go through your list first, then we'll go back and forth.
Okay, cool beans. All right. So I'm just gonna go 10-1. So my 10th spot, you still gotta roll somewhere they're at. First up is, you know what? For all the things, we love his movies. He's having a rough go right now, but a great person, great actor. And what can you say? He stars in the greatest Christmas movie of all time. I'm going John McClane. Because you know what? If I want to live, I want someone that dies hard.
He's number 3.
All right. Number 9. I had to pick this guy because he stars in a movie that has the word bodyguard in it. So I'm going with Michael Bryce, aka Ryan Reynolds from The Hitman's Bodyguard.
Okay, he is number 8.
Coming in number 8. Yeah, I'll at least my next one up is I got to go with the guy. You know what? He's gonna get me from A to B, because when you gotta move from spot to spot, that's when maybe you're most vulnerable. So I want a guy who can drive. I want a guy that's got an unlimited number of cars. He is fast. He is furious. But also, he is the transporter. I'm going with Frank Martin from the Transporter series.
I almost put him in mine.
All right, where's Frank falling?
Number 5.
All right. Again, this guy, he is known for guarding the president. He's known for getting us through no matter where chaos falls. Maybe it falls in DC. Maybe it falls in London. Maybe it falls against a specific person. By the way, if you can hang out with Morgan Freeman, more power to you.
Yeah.
So I'm going with Mike Banning, played by Gerard Butler, in the various Has Fallen movies.
Very good. And he's your number 1 choice.
A person you almost put in yours, but you didn't. So with that, we only have one person in common in our bracket. So my next pickup is he has a particular set of skills. I'm going with Brian Mills, aka Liam Neeson from the Taken series.
Yes, I'm glad I'm glad he made the bracket.
All right.
Oh, he is your number 4.
All right. I gotta take this guy because had this been more the character that he played, we probably would have gotten a lot better Batman movies out of Mr. Affleck. I'm going with his portrayal of Christian Wolf in The Accountant.
A sequel is coming out in a couple months.
Yes.
And it looks good, man. If you want to see Batman meets the Punisher, here we go.
There we go. And Christian Wolf is what seed for me?
He is number 7.
All right. We talk about this guy every week the past several weeks, so how could he not be on my list? I'm taking Agent Xavier Collins, Sterling Brown from Paradise.
I almost put him in mine too, yeah.
Now, by the fact that the show starts with the President of the United States not doing so great, but he wasn't on duty either, so we'll get past there.
What was it? What's? I'm just gonna put Xavier for that.
Yeah, Xavier. Last name was Collins, but yeah.
Collins. Okay. He is number 9, and you have 3 to go. You have 2, 6, and 10.
All right, let's see where this guy falls. You know what? If he can protect a little girl from the various cartels, I gotta go while nursing a wound, by being an alcoholic, and just by hanging out with Christopher Walken. I'm going with Denzel Washington's portrayal of Creasy in Man on Fire.
I almost had, I almost put, Robert McCall.
The Equalizer. Yeah. That'd be interesting. You know, it might be maybe next week. Yeah, how about next week we do, because that also will be, I think, our last podcast in February. Why don't we go our favorite Denzel characters?
So I actually, we can either do that, or I was actually thinking we could also do best black-led movies.
Let's do best black-led movies.
Okay. All right. We'll write it down. We'll write it down in a minute. Okay, cool. Number 10.
Cool. Creasy's
Number
10.
2 and 6.
All right. So the lone female on my end, and also the only woman we listed in the bracket, shame on us, is Uma Thurman as the bride in Kill Bill.
And she is your number 6. She almost made my list too, but when my first list was at like 33 people, and I just had to trim it down.
All right.
And that is your number 6.
And my final one, which is the one character we had in common, of course, John Wick, Keanu Reeves.
Man, I am impressed. I am very, very impressed.
What seed again?
What's that? Oh, number 2.
Number 2. All right.
Yep. So you're going to be number 1 is Mike Banning. 2, John Wick. Number 3, John McClane. 4 is Brian Mills. And then it's Frank Martin from The Transporter, The Bride, Christian Wolf, Michael Bryce, Xavier Collins, and Creasy.
All right.
So I think we're gonna do this a little bit different. I think we're each gonna do number 1. We'll just go back and forth, do one round, and we'll go from there.
All right. Let me
ask the question, my friend.
I gotta roll to see where we're at. Hang on here.
Oh yeah, that's right. You gotta get rid of 2.
Yeah, let me get rid of 2.
Okay, I'll roll for you.
I got it. My number. So I gotta take the axe to my number 8, which is
Michael Bryce. And was also one of my axes too.
Okay.
If you roll a 9, dude, that's gonna be weird that we have the same axes. Did you just roll a 9?
You said it right as my die was spinning, and it was number 9, which takes out of Xavier Collins.
Don't worry, Sterling K. Brown will make another spot in this podcast.
Absolutely.
I promise you that.
Absolutely.
I promise you that. Okay, so man,
yeah.
All right. So go ahead, Brian. Ask me my winner of 1v2.
Okay, here we go. So 1v2 for you is gonna be John. This will be interesting.
Oh, I know. This is a finals.
John Wick versus Mando. Now remember, Mando has his tech, but John Wick has all of his resources and skill. So who you picking, Wick or Mando?
Okay, so John Wick has 4 movies, and he's fallen.
3 of them were really good.
Yeah, exactly. He's fallen from like stories and gotten up, and he's gone and killed people. He is the boogeyman.
Yes, he is the Baba Yaga.
He is the Baba Yaga.
He lost a finger. The man lost his dog.
Yeah.
And guess what? People keep asking him if he's back.
He's
back.
What?
He's back. Yeah.
But not in this. And the Mandalorian is going to beat John Wick just because he's a Mandalorian. He's got Beskar Steel. He's taken on monsters. He's taken on, he's done more. He's taken on Jedi. Well, not really Jedi, but I mean, he can take some lightsabers. with the best car. He can fight. He can fly. He can get me out. He can get me out if he has to right away.
It's almost like saying you would want him watching your back if it was, let's say, The Last of Us.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to be invisible. I might want to stretch the truth a little bit. And I just think this is the way.
Nice. By the way, we didn't pick Joel. I bet Joel's not a bad bodyguard.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised that my brain didn't go there.
Right.
It went everywhere else to like every other franchise.
That's okay. That's
I was considering Pac-Man for a minute, but
again, not a person. Okay. So next up, we got Batman.
Oh no, you get to go first. You get yours. Now.
I go mine. Okay.
That's right. So now it's going to be
now. Okay, we got
now it's
Mike
you,
Banning,
Mike Banning versus John Wick. Mike Banning, John Wick.
Okay, both can fight. Both are good with weapons. I will say though, Wick has less to lose. Banning's got the wife. I think he maybe in the last movie she was even pregnant. So and also this is not Sparta. So I'm giving it to my guy John Wick. So I'm eliminating Mike Banning.
Okay.
All right. So now we're back over to your side. So we got Batman the Absolute version taking on Jack Reacher.
Oh shit, this is a tough one too. I mean, this is the absolute Batman versus Jack Reacher. Jack Reacher has years.
They're kind of the same person.
They are pretty much. And as a matter of fact, if Alan Rickman needs to be Batman, he definitely should be Batman. And especially absolute Batman. I mean, like I think he could knock it out of the park. Absolute Batman is smarter, okay? But Jack Reacher has years of military experience going into this. They're gonna fight the same. They're gonna fight the same way. Absolute Batman, you know, like the whole grappling gun thing that he has.
Yeah,
that's his cape. His cape can do that.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah. Oh, dude. Like, I can't wait for you. I almost want to just drive to your house and give you my 5 copies so you can read it. I'm gonna give this one to Absolute Batman.
All right, so we're eliminating Jack Reacher.
We are going to eliminate Jack Reacher.
So he didn't reach around. All right, my friend. Okay, so then I've had my 1v2. So next will be my 3v4. John McClane
versus Brian Mills. Tell me how you're going to make the choice here. Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker, or...
I have a particular set of skills.
That's right.
I'm just going with my heart here, just by the fact that we see Liam Neeson playing the same cat in about every one of his movies lately, versus John McClane, best Christmas movie of all time. Die Hard 4, that's my favorite. Die Hard was probably my favorite of the Die Hards, and beyond that, Bruce Willis is going through all the things that Bruce Willis is doing. So I'm eliminating Brian Mills, because he'll just have to go nonstop. He'll just have to find the gray, but we're going to keep John McClane in there. All right. So for you, we're now, again, back to your 5 versus 6. We got, this would be really interesting.
Oh, shit.
Now, I got very strong for who I think will win this one, but Terry McGinnis versus Frank Castle.
Oh, shit.
This is actually an easier pick than maybe what you think, but it's your choice. McGinnis or Castle.
So in here you have Batman Beyond, and where he's going to go is that he has the future tech. He's got the future Batman tech. Is Terry McGinnis as good of a fighter as Frank Castle? I don't think so. I don't think Frank Castle. I don't think there is a limit to what Frank Castle can and can't do.
Precisely.
He's not a martial artist. He's just an ass kicker.
And he's not a good person.
Not a good person, right? Frank Castle is a villain. The Punisher is a villain. He's just a villain that kills other villains.
He's Dexter. He's a serial killer that kills killers. Castle's a villain that kills villains. Absolutely.
Right. And if there's people coming at me, I want them punished. I want
no mercy.
them no mercy. Damn,
Yeah.
I should have put Johnny Lawrence on there. Dude, I can't wait to talk about Cobra Kai when it's gone.
All right.
All right.
So, who you going?
Which means
Jennifer?
for you get to pick between Frank Martin from The Transporter
Yes.
and The Bride.
I'm keeping Uma, so we're letting Frank.
Without a thought, yeah, you're going.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah,
fair
yeah.
enough. So, all right.
Also,
so,
also Jason Statham, I think, is like 5'6", so he probably couldn't even see like the top of Uma Thurman's head. So we're gonna go with that. All right.
okay. So my final. Oh,
Yeah, it's The Undertaker versus
Ethan Hunt.
Ethan Hunt.
Man, so this one is interesting. So like, it's all going to depend on how close people are going to actively getting to me. I can see the American Badass, The Undertaker, like kicking all the ass out of that I need, get me on a motorcycle, and get me the hell out with the freaking shotgun, right?
Mm-hmm.
But Ethan Hunt, he would get me on a plane and get me out of here. He could. There's nothing impossible that Ethan Hunt can't do.
Facts.
And only because of that, can Ethan Hunt defeat The Undertaker would be something that you would think was impossible. That would be a mission impossible. And we know. There's been 9 of them now.
Absolutely.
He can do a lot of impossible shots. Ethan
Absolutely.
Hunt has beaten The Undertaker. It hurts me to say that.
I give you that. Not to mention, don't feel too bad for The Undertaker. Remember, he still gets to go home to Michelle McCool. He'll be
And
okay.
who's going to be a Hall of Famer? Congratulations.
Time out. Do you think she is deserving of the Hall of Fame? I mean, we have an entire probably decade plus where women wrestlers under the WWE umbrella were not
they were their assets.
They're not the women wrestlers we see today. They're not the Rhea Ripleys, the Tiffany Stratton,
Right.
Nia Jacksons, the Becky Lynch, the Charlotte Flairs. We going on and on and on.
Yeah.
So relative to that time that she was in there, what do you think? Is she Hall of Famer?
No, she's a Hall of Famer because she's married to The Undertaker.
The Undertaker.
Yeah. I mean, but I mean, the cool thing about the women's division is they are better than the guys right now. The women division is either better or just as good as the guys.
Absolutely.
I mean, like especially on the premium live events, dude.
A lot of them are fantastic.
Yeah. I mean, there's great. I mean, we were talking about Chelsea Green. Like this chick is going. I mean, she's already been places, but I mean, like she is just insane. She's great, and she's married to Zack Ryder, right?
Correct. Which she's starting to use the Rough Rider as it's not her finisher, it's the setup for her finisher. It probably should be her finisher because her version of being prettier is pretty bad. But she's using that. I love her and Piper Niven and just their whole act together.
Yeah.
She's good in the ring, but she's got great facials. And she would make that, again, the reason I think she'll eventually hold a women's world title is, yes, you've got Liv. Liv is also excellent, but you've got folks like Charlotte and Rhea Ripley and Becky Lynch when she returns that are these ass kickers in the ring.
Yeah.
But sometimes you just need that really good heel who, like, hey, if this was a one-on-one match and no one interfered, I'd beat you. But you know what? I will never let that happen. And I will keep my title. And would she have a historic run? No. But I think her being a future Miss Money in the Bank and maybe cashing in on someone like Rhea Ripley and then watching her run away from Rhea for months at a time, I think would be a great, entertaining thing to watch. So, with that being said, sir, I got to go back over to my bracket, right?
That's where you have Christian Wolf, the accountant, or Creasy, Man on Fire. I think I know where you're going to go with this one.
Oh.
I know where I would go with this one.
My heart. This is my heart over my head because if you think about the movie Creasy versus Christian Wolf, younger, better shape, none of the vices. It's just probably a better overall killer, but it's flipping Denzel.
Right.
It's flipping Denzel Washington.
And he's on fire, man.
And Creasy rose to the occasion. No matter what happened, Creasy rose to the occasion. So you know what? I'm going Creasy. So I am cashing out with the account.
You know, I agree with you, because the reason I agree with you on this one is because the accountant is more, he's got the OCD.
Right.
I mean, he's not going to be able to take, he's not going to take the new thing that Creasy's going to bring into it, the chaos that's going to be introduced. I think you were wise here. All right, man, it is time to move on to round number 2.
All right. So for you is another great one. Mando versus Absolute Batman.
Okay, all right, man. So this is going to be the Mandalorian and Absolute Batman. So I can't get away with my reasoning in round 1 against John Wick, because Absolute Batman is bigger than the Mandalorian, and he has armor as well. It's not Beskar. So I guess I really have to say, but Absolute Batman has a flippin' dump truck for a Batmobile.
Absolutely.
He's smart.
Absolutely. Mando's getting a little soft with Grogu and all the things, right?
That is true. That is true. But he's no, and this is a Mando without the Darksaber, because I don't think a Mandalorian. I don't think not that Mandalorian. I don't think Din Djarin deserves the Darksaber. But with that said, he's got the fire gauntlets.
Mm-hmm.
He's got so much else. He's got so many stuff.
Fly.
Right, and he can fly. And Batman just can't fly.
Yeah.
He is fly.
There's no
he's
bat
pretty
wing
fly for a white guy.
He is. There's no Batwing in Absolute Universe as of this point anyway.
Correct. Okay. But I just worked at an Offspring reference, and I feel pretty proud of myself right now.
That was really good.
I guess you just gotta keep them separated. In order.
Nice.
You know what? Mandalorian is gonna
yeah. Go for it.
I'm giving this one to Mandalorian. I'm gonna let Mandalorian fly away, because I guess when it comes down to it, this is the way.
Very cool. All right, so then for me, I've got
you have John Wick versus John McClane. Ooh,
John v. John.
You're going to the John. To the John.
Yes.
There is no right or wrong answer here. John McClane has seen and done some shit.
He has.
Yeah.
He has. By the way, did you know, and I'm going to forget his last name, but the reason that we call the restroom the John is actually a reference to one of the inventors of indoor plumbing, who is a direct ancestor of Kit, who played Jon Snow in the Game of Thrones.
Really?
Literally, that is why it's called the John.
That is amazing.
That is he shared that in an interview. His great, I think grand uncle or something like that. But his first name was John, and that's why it's called using the John.
Are you proud of that? If that's you, are you proud of that? I mean,
you know what? I think I would, because for another reason in this, if anytime someone like insulted you or say, "Hey, go sit on the crap" or whatever, you can go like, "Hey, I'm going home."
Right.
What's
up, Uncle John?
Yeah, think about all the things that get flushed away. Think about something that makes our lives a little bit better.
Right. Yeah. So, that's pretty shitty. That's a pretty shitty thing to say.
All right, I'm going to say this for myself. As much as I love him, I'm going to eliminate John McClane. I think 1v1, McClane wins due to ingenuity, grit. But rarely do we see John McClane win a straight up fight. In fact, that's one of the things, especially in the first few movies, he got his butt kicked on the regular. He just wouldn't give up. So with that, there's no building to throw me off of. And if so, John Wick will probably survive falling off a Nakatomi Tower. So I'm eliminating John McClane and keeping John Wick.
Okay, so that means for me, oh gosh, the Punisher versus Ethan Hunt. I have to eliminate one of them. The Punisher versus Ethan Hunt. I mean, I don't know if I can use my same reasoning on the final on the last one with Ethan Hunt. I don't know. I mean, the beating the impossible, because this is the Punisher. This is the he's not going to think, he's going to just react. And I don't think Ethan Hunt could be ready. And I think by the time he even thinks about something, he's going to be shot in the head.
Absolutely.
And and we know Tom Cruise is very fond of his face.
Yes. There's no monologuing here. There's none of those things. It's going to be straight up, back and forth. I agree with you. So are you eliminating Ethan Hunt?
I am eliminating Ethan Hunt. The Punisher is moving forward.
So for you, your finals when we come back is going to be Mando versus the Punisher.
I'm going to be thinking about that.
All right.
For you, sir, you have to decide against the Bride.
Yes.
And Creasy. Samurai sword or just trying to cover his tracks?
I think I'm going with the Bride just because I feel like Creasy would do his best, but given the Bride, she's already been shot in the head.
Mm-hmm.
She lost her kid. She went through paralysis. I think you've got two folks that are weathered, that are battle tested, but she's got a Hattori Hanzo sword.
It's true.
And there it is. So I'm taking the Bride over that, which means my finals when we come back is John Wick versus the Bride. All right, sir.
All right, so now let's break this down. Let's find our finals here. All right, so for me, the Mandalorian versus the Punisher, and the Punisher can track. And I guess how I don't know how long is this gonna go. I mean, if the Mandalorian can run and hide, but he's not gonna do that. He's gonna go for the fight.
Absolutely.
He's gonna go for the fight. He's way better armored than Frank Castle is. He's gonna take out the Punisher's van. He's gonna disarm him. It's gonna come down to hand to hand.
Yep.
But where the Mandalorian, I think, is gonna get the upper hand is gonna be the Beskar, and he's gonna have all the things that are on him at all times, because Frank is going to try to get rid of the armor, but he's never fought anything with Beskar armor.
It comes back to the armor every time.
Comes back to the armor because the armor is part of a Mandalorian. I'm gonna the person I'm taking who literally went the entire way is the Mandalorian.
Nice.
The Mando.
Nice.
All right, now you, sir, John fucking Wick versus the Bride.
In my world, these two just boo-thang it up.
I want to see the movie that they're in together.
Yeah, he gives her flowers. They have their own kiddo, and then that kid becomes the only person probably capable of beating the Mandalorian. But at this point, John Wick versus the Bride, if I think it through, this eventually becomes hand-to-hand combat. We've seen John take on a lot of assassins. We've seen him in close combat, and we've seen what the Bride can do if we drop all weapons and it's just person-to-person battling. I got to give it to John Wick. So I think it's a tough one, and I don't think he kills her. I think he wins the fight, and then later on he asks her out to dinner. So we're gonna
I think he breaks her sword, but then he goes to get her a new one.
Yes, I think if any woman can help him move past his wife, when Halle Berry apparently couldn't do it, is maybe the Bride. Absolutely.
All right, so now we got to set a little bit of groundwork here for the final battle here. I mean, I think it's pretty obvious, like what versions of each character that we're going to be talking about. The Mandalorian is the Mandalorian from the show. I mean, the show and the comic are the same thing. There's not the comic. The Mandalorian comic is very, very true to the show. It's nothing is new. I don't know if you've read any of it, but it's just the show in comic form, if that makes sense.
It does.
And then John Wick is John Wick from the movies. Is there any other John Wick? I think there's some video games, but not.
There's some video games, but the character himself pretty much is what we see on the screen. There was a short, a limited series,
The
comic
Confidential
book, but however, well, there's the show, but it was actually a comic about John Wick, but it was basically was no different from the movie. The comic comes after the movie's release. So with that, you've got a guy who's got incredible fighting skills. He's trained as a wrestler. He's trained as an assassin. He does multiple disciplines of martial arts. He's got his suit, which is bulletproof, knife resistant, I would assume flame retardant. So he's got all the skills, all the resources, and all the things that Mando has. So we've got Wick versus Mando, but again, if we got to whittle this fight down to one thing, it's that word again, the Beskar.
The Beskar armor. Yes, I know. Here's what I see. I see this fight happening somewhere like on Coruscant. I see it happening in a city, right? I'm gonna put John Wick. I think it's probably more fair to bring John Wick to Coruscant or to a city that in the Star Wars universe, just because there's going to be more around John Wick, and John Wick is an environmental fighter, right? So like he's going to use the environment because I think that's going to help him in the battle here as well. However, I do think that the Mandalorian is going to beat John Wick just because of what a Mandalorian is. A Mandalorian is bred from the time that they were born, pretty much, since he was the foundling. So decades, the fight is all that he knows. Now, yes,
you make a similar argument for John Wick, by the way.
What's that?
You can make a similar argument for John Wick.
This is true. This is very true. Din Djarin has softened because of Grogu. I really do think so. But in this case, I think that the flamethrower is not going to work. But I do think one thing that might work is he could fly up, get his sniper rifle out, and take those shots while John is looking for him. But again, John, when you're talking about close to, if there's a way that John Wick can eliminate his jetpack and he can remove any of his armor, I think he's got a shot here. But I think that the Mandalorian is a better fighter than John Wick. John Wick can get thrown from 5 stories and get up. But what about 40? John Wick is a human.
Yep.
He doesn't have any armor on his head.
Yeah. And when you look at that, again, the rules of our battle is someone concedes, someone is knocked unconscious, or someone is killed. And with this, while I don't believe Mando has any desire to end John Wick, when you add in that he can fly, he's got the tech, he's got the best car,
wrap him up and take him up.
He can make it a range fight, which takes away a lot of what John Wick is good at. And there's the other thing of it is this too, gotta be fair. John Wick, if we go through the 4th movie, John Wick has progressively more and more fights, more and more damage. He's lost one of his fingers. He's got just knife wounds and bullet holes and all the things. Versus Mando, from all accounts, is still pretty physically healthy. Yeah. With that, as much as I hate, because this will make you 5 to my 1, or 4 to my 1. I think it's 4 to my 1. But yes, I'm going to bow out with John Wick, and we're going to give it to the Mandalorian.
All right, man. I think this is the right call, man. It's the way
we've said it several times.
Yep. I feel like John Wick. This match was. I said it in my first to go. This was just a rehash of my first round.
Yes.
John Wick versus the Mandalorian.
Yes.
And yeah, man. I mean, like as badass of a character as John Wick is, I would love to see this in the comic book form. Please, somebody give this to me.
And we know what would happen is after the fight, Mando recruits John Wick to the Order.
Oh, hell yeah.
And then he'd become the most badass Mandalorian that there is. Okay.
Right. Or he'd almost be like the uncle to Grogu. You know?
Yes. He got all the things. But I got to go back and pick up the dog first. All right.
That's right. So are you ready to play some games?
I am, sir. So I got a game for you. I got a Who Am I? And this one is, I want to know if you can guess the actor. So we've done this before, picking a fictional character. We've done this before, we had to identify a movie. Now, based on, I've got a series of 5 clues or hints.
Okay.
See if you can identify the actor.
Okay, I'm ready.
All right. Now, we'll say this is an actor we have mentioned at least once during the podcast.
Ooh, okay.
All right.
All right.
So, starting off, clue number 1. He was a Boy Scout who became a pilot who became the president. He was a Boy Scout who became a pilot who became the president. Clue number 2. He would be great doing an Easter egg hunt or search for anything that's been, let's say, buried. However, he'd probably lose his hat.
Harrison Ford. I had it at Boy Scout, pilot, president.
Well done. Harrison Ford.
The hat was the What were the rest of the?
Okay, so we'll read the first 2, then I get the next 3. So Harrison Ford was a legitimate Boy Scout. Harrison Ford is a legitimate pilot. He talks about it a lot, and he played the president in Air Force One. And
in Captain America.
And true.
That's right.
So in number 2, great during the Easter egg hunt. Obviously, his role is Indiana Jones.
Yep.
Finding anything that's buried, and the running thing with Indy that he loses his hat. Number 3, he would be best friends with Morpheus, the Green Goblin, and James Bond. He has been in movies with Lawrence Fishburne, Willem Dafoe, and Daniel Craig.
What was he in Daniel Craig?
Cowboys and Aliens.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, good. That was a good movie. I like that movie.
It wasn't bad. And then the last 2, if you didn't get about the first 3, you're definitely going to get with the last 2, primarily on this one. He is most famous for being Solo in an opera. So Star Wars is called a space opera. He played Han Solo. And the last one is, all I have to say is, I know. Yes.
Yeah.
Well done.
Well done, man.
Well done.
All right. So I have a constellation for you.
Okay. I need to redeem myself. Let's do it.
You need to redeem yourself. Okay. And good luck. All right. I told you earlier that Sterling K. Brown was not done to be. We weren't done talking about Sterling K. Brown. So, Brian, I want you to make me the constellation of Sterling K. Brown, and there was another black-led show that came out called Watson. That's fantastic.
Yes.
So I want you to connect Sterling K. Brown and Morris Chestnut.
Oh, okay. Right. I can do it in 1.
I did it in 2.
I can do it in 1.
You can do it in 1? They starred together?
Wait, hang on. I can do it with 1. Hang on. Make sure I got this right. Maybe not. I may have overspoke. Hang on.
Yes, I can do it in 1. So I can do it with 1 separation. So one actor between the 2.
Okay. Let me think then. Okay, so I got. Okay, hang on. Let me think of that one through a little bit more. Okay.
I knew I was using Sterling K. Brown. And so when I was going through his filmography, I was going through and I hit a certain movie. And I'm like, oh, I knew exactly where I was going to go.
Okay. Because what the move that I was thinking wouldn't work, especially if I wanted to match yours. So, because I can't beat it, because I can't think of anything they've been in together. So let me think a little bit.
Are you gonna use Black Panther?
I was thinking Black Panther, but I'm blanking on the connection with Black Panther.
Yes, you could also think about Morris Chestnut.
That's what
think of some of the things that he was.
I know that's what and it feels Black Panther would be the one that would make the most sense. So then I'm thinking about, because Black Panther's got a really big, robust cast. I feel like some of those folks that have been in Black Panther would definitely have been in something that Morris Chestnut would have been in. I'm just blanking off the top of my head. Give me one. I'm thinking.
Right. I mean, you can start with Black Panther, because who did he star with in Black Panther? A lot of people.
Yeah.
I mean, Chadwick Boseman has a lot on his IMDb. I think there's like 42 things on there at least.
Okay. All right, I got it, and I got it in one. So
okay.
So one person in between. One person in between. Okay. So I'm going to, and I did not do it that way. I actually went through the movies, actually. So there is one of my favorite, well, it's movie/television. So one of my favorite shows is the show Person of Interest. And Taraji P. Henson was in Person of Interest, and that actually, when I was doing my Facebook post on Sterling K. Brown, I got real familiar with his filmography, and he actually was in a few episodes of Person of Interest. Well, Taraji P. Henson starred in multiple movies with Morris Chestnut, including one called Not Easily Broken. So
great movie.
It is Morris to Taraji to Sterling K. Brown. So that's my one. But give me the way you did it. So you obviously did it another way.
So I actually did it two ways, because I did the one way, and then I actually did it another way, but it's just I went through like 6.
Okay.
All right. Sterling K. Brown was in the movie American Crime Story: The People versus O.J. Simpson with Cuba Gooding Jr. And Cuba Gooding Jr. was in a little movie that came out in 1991 that I think the entire world has seen, called Boys in the Hood. Well, Morris Chestnut was also in that movie with Cuba Gooding.
That is fantastic.
Before I saw that American Crime Story was on his filmography, this was how I was doing it. I was like, okay, Sterling K. Brown and Chadwick Boseman, Black Panther. And Chadwick Boseman starred with Harrison Ford in 42. Harrison Ford was in The Fugitive with Tommy Lee Jones. Tommy Lee Jones starred in Men in Black with Will Smith. Will Smith starred in Bad Boys, for all the Bad Boys movies, with Martin Lawrence. And Martin Lawrence was in The Best Man with Morris Chestnut. But then I remembered, thank God, American Crime Story, and there I was. Yes.
That is really. I mean, again, there is a lot of overlap, and I started to go through The Best Man, but I couldn't think. My thought would have been, there's got to be overlap between the cast of The Best Man and the cast of Black Panther, and it probably is. I mean, I'm not saying that there is, but I could not, in my head, find that connection, at least not readily, which led me to think about other ways. So, but either way, that was a fun one. That was a fun one, sir.
Awesome, man. So I guess it's time for your honest ad.
Let's do it. So, Bradley, this may or may not surprise you, but last Friday, we record on Sundays generally. Last Friday was Valentine's Day. So, I am going to do an honest ad on Valentine's Day. Candy, flowers, hearts galore. You watch your money fly out the door. For cheap romance, kisses and hugs, please don't forget your little blue pill drugs. You go out to dinner that is usually overpriced. You may even need to go under the bed for your favorite romantic device. You spend a single day trying to prove what no one else can judge unless they've walked in your shoes. Now, before I sound bitter, allow me to share, I firmly believe in showing that you care. But don't do it once, twice, or even 3 times. Every day is an opportunity to let your feelings shine. Talk to your partner, fiance, or spouse. Try doing sexy time in every room of the house. Your kids are going to love that one. Give of yourself, open and free. Don't do these things just when people can see. Now follow this advice and remember the bees and the birds, because 9 months later, you may have a little nerd.
I love it, man. I love it. We've already talked about next week. So next week we're going to do the best black-led movies.
Absolutely.
All right. I already have some ideas for that one. Better Than Us Human of the Week, my friend.
All right. Well, tomorrow is actually my mom's birthday. So, Mom, rest in heaven, rest in power. Miss you every single day. So, my Better Than Us Human of the Week is going to be my mom, Dorothy Dennis.
Very good. And I am going to go with my 15-year-old daughter, Anna. So I got a little story to tell you. So about a week ago, we had Anna. She's 15, and so she's learning how to drive. She was doing some driving with my wife, Kaylee, and she turned a little too sharp in the driveway and decided to introduce the car to the house. And it kind of scraped down a little bit, and we took it in to get fixed and everything like that, and they decided to total it out.
Really?
But yeah. But they gave us way more than we thought we were going to get. Okay. So the wife ended up getting a new car this weekend. So, nice. And she's got Anna to thank for that, because she's been wanting a new car for a while.
Okay. All right.
Anna's doing great. She's learning how to drive. She's learning all the things. It'll be really nice when she can just drive on our weekends, and I can't wait for that. So because of all that, Anna, you are my Better Than Us Human of the Week.
Outstanding.
Homework.
Sir.
What do you got for my homework? And then I'll assign you some homework.
All right. My homework for you, sir, is definitely get caught up on your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man if you are not. Excellent episodes. I love the way they're doing the mentoring, with it being Norman Osborn.
It works so well.
It does. It does. Oh, God. For a lot of ways. Yes.
That freaking voice. I was gonna do Coleman Domingo to Sterling K. Brown.
Yes.
But I couldn't. My brain didn't go there.
And there are rumors. Well, I shouldn't say there's rumors. He has stated multiple times that if they or when Marvel introduces, and this is why I got to give Marvel credit, Marvel is doing a good job of taking things that come up in maybe some non-canon or alternate environments and integrating those into its main MCU movies. So what we may see, hopefully, is when they bring Norman Osborn into this version of the multiverse. We saw a bit of him in the most recent Spider-Man movie, but should they bring a Norman Osborn into this main timeline of the MCU, he stated he would love to play that character. He's an incredible actor. One of my favorite episodes. So we both are familiar with and really like the show Lucifer. My favorite episode is a first season episode where Coleman plays a priest, and it was like the third or fourth episode of season 1, and that was the first time you really got a hint of the depth of this version of the Lucifer character. It is an incredible episode. It's my favorite episode. I actually got a little bit of ocular perspiration how they handled his character. So I would definitely think, if you're not familiar with that episode, it's definitely watch or rewatch. He is just fantastic in so many things that he does. So if we get a live action version of him. If anything would tell us Norman Osborn, I think it'd be great.
I agree. I was introduced to him really. I mean, I don't remember that episode of Lucifer, but I'm gonna go check it out because I'm due for a rewatch anyway. But Fear of the Walking Dead, he was the best part of that show, especially for very, very. I think he made it. I never finished the show. I think he made it to the end.
I think so too.
So, but other than that, man, your homework. I'm not gonna make you watch any reality TV show. You're welcome. All right. Cobra Kai. You got to finish Cobra Kai.
All right. On Cobra Kai.
No mercy, man.
No mercy.
Fear.
Yes.
Fear. There will be no fear in this dojo.
Yes. Yes.
Where can we find?
Do we get better? You can find me at Brian S. Dennis on the Book of Faces. Well, Brian Steven, that's what the S stands for, on the Book of Faces. Give me a like, give me a follow, send me a friend request. I try to keep my page funny and occasionally weird.
All right, and let's see here. You want to support the show? Go to Buy Me a Coffee or patreon.com/nerdpositive. You mean episode assistant or producer, start at $5 a month. If you just want to give me money, I'm not going to say no. PayPal or Venmo at Bradley Butin. Share the show with someone you want to make a little more awesome. Don't forget to leave us a 5-star review, please. Look at it. Look at these faces. We deserve them. We definitely deserve them. All right, man. Let's go ahead and end the show like we always do.
As always, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, everyone in the podcast universe, thank you for joining us for the best part of our week. Please remember to never give up, never say die. I'm sorry, never give up, never surrender. And Goonies, never say die.
And they're going to be saying never say die again. It's confirmed. The sequel's in the works. With Steven Spielberg, Chris Columbus, and yeah, they're.
I will be watching for Andy to prove again that she is a Goonie.
Yes. All right. Remember, friendship is like peeing on yourself. Everyone can see it, but only you get the warm feeling that it brings. Every time you feel stupid, you just got a little bit smarter. And by the way, squirrels' cheeks are their nut sacks. And last, are you nerd positive? Remember, each week we find out who the Nerd Getting Tournament of Awesome winner is. Why don't you reach out to us and let us know what kind of bracket you want us to do.
Dude.
Oh, bye-bye.
Bye-bye, folks.